There are places on Earth that still feel untouched, places so distant, so silent, so impossible to truly understand that most people never question what might actually exist there. Antarctica is one of those places. When people imagine Antarctica, they imagine endless white landscapes, frozen mountains, violent winds, nothing alive, nothing hidden, just ice. But what if that idea is wrong? What if the coldest place on Earth isn't empty? What if beneath kilometers of frozen silence, there is something waiting? Not a mountain, not an underground river, not a forgotten cave, a city, a massive city, hidden beneath Antarctica. And what if humanity already found it, but never told anyone? Everything begins with technology. For decades, scientists have been scanning Antarctica, using satellites, radar, ice-penetrating systems, mapping what exists under the frozen surface. Most discoveries were normal: ancient rivers, underground lakes, buried mountains, nothing unusual. Until, according to the theory, one scan returned something unexpected. Lines, straight lines, patterns, geometry, shapes appearing where randomness should exist. At first, researchers assumed the equipment made a mistake. They scanned again. Same result. Different angle. Same result. More detailed scan. Same result. Eventually, someone noticed something disturbing. The shapes looked organized, not geological, constructed. Large, empty spaces connected together, circular zones, long corridors, symmetrical layouts, almost like city blocks. Imagine sitting inside a dark research room, screens glowing, machines running, nobody expecting anything unusual. Then, suddenly, under nearly 3 kilometers of ice, a massive structure appears. Nobody speaks. One researcher quietly says, "That doesn't look natural." Silence. Because everyone is thinking the same thing. The structure shouldn't exist. As scans continue, more details appear. Multiple levels, layered sections, connected chambers, entire regions linked together underground. The estimated scale begins growing. 5 kilometers, 10, 20, larger. Some theories eventually suggest, if connected, the structure could extend farther than modern cities. Impossible. At least, it should be impossible. Then information starts leaking. Not official reports, not announcements, anonymous posts, small discussions, deleted messages. People online begin noticing strange claims. Someone writes, "There's a reason Antarctica remains controlled." Another says, "The ice isn't covering nature, it's covering history." Most people laugh, because extraordinary claims need evidence, but the idea spreads anyway. People start asking old questions again. Why does Antarctica feel different? Why do people associate it with mystery? Why does the idea of hidden things under the ice seem believable? Official explanations exist: environmental protection, scientific agreements, research limitations, all reasonable. But conspiracy theories ask different questions. What if those reasons are true, but incomplete? Then old stories return: lost civilizations, forgotten worlds, ancient maps, legends describing lands erased by catastrophe. Most historians reject these ideas, but online communities connect everything: Atlantis, ancient engineering, prehistoric civilizations, forgotten history. And one question appears again and again: what if civilization started earlier than we think? Because here's something real: Antarctica wasn't always frozen. Millions of years ago, it was warmer. Forests existed, life existed, a completely different world. Now imagine taking that idea and pushing it into fiction. Not millions of years, thousands. Imagine a civilization existing before recorded history. Not futuristic, not magical, just advanced enough to survive. Then disaster arrives, climate shifts, floods, collapse. Civilization disappears. Most people are lost, but one group survives. How? Underground. Massive structures, protected environments, hidden cities, and eventually, ice forms above. Generation after generation disappears. History forgets. Only the structures remain, waiting, frozen, silent. According to the theory, certain underground regions show unusual activity: localized heat, areas warmer than expected. Not enough to prove anything, but enough to create questions. Official explanations usually point toward geology, but conspiracy theories move somewhere else. What if the city isn't completely dead? What if some systems still exist? Imagine entering. You descend through ice, cold air, dark walls. Your footsteps echo. Eventually, the ice ends, and something else begins. Smooth surfaces, perfect angles, walls that don't look natural. You move forward. The tunnel opens. A chamber, huge, larger than buildings, columns stretching upward into darkness. Nose.
You stand still. The light remains. No movement, no sound. Just a cold glow in complete darkness. Every logical explanation begins fighting for control. Maybe it's reflection. Maybe trapped minerals. Maybe equipment malfunction. But deep inside, another thought appears. What if it isn't? You move closer. Each step echoes through the chamber. The air changes, not warmer, not colder. Different, like entering a place separated from the world above. Your radio begins producing static, short bursts, then silence. You try again. Nothing. Only the sound of your own breathing. The light becomes clearer. It isn't random. It comes from something structured. A shape. Circular. Embedded into the wall. Smooth. Too smooth. No visible wires. No obvious power source. No signs of repair. No signs of damage. Like it was built yesterday. You look around. More circles. More patterns. Repeating across the chamber. Then you realize something strange. Nothing here looks designed for comfort. No furniture, no homes, no decoration, no evidence of normal life. Everything feels functional, purposeful. Like this place wasn't built to live. It was built to preserve. That idea changes everything. Because if it wasn't a city, what was it? A shelter? A storage system? A vault? A backup? People online create theories. Theory 1. This was a survival structure, built during a global catastrophe, designed to protect knowledge, protect technology, protect something important. Theory 2. This wasn't built underground. It was built on the surface, long ago, and buried later. Ice slowly covered it. History disappeared. Theory 3. The strangest one. This place was never abandoned. That theory becomes popular for one reason: scale. Descriptions always mention size. Doorways too large, hallways too wide, rooms too open, either symbolic or designed for something unexpected. Of course, there is no evidence for any of this, only imagination. But imagination becomes powerful when combined with mystery. Then another anonymous message appears online. Only one sentence. No source, no context. It says, "You think they found a city, but the city found them." The post disappears. People screenshot it, share it, laugh at it. But the sentence stays, because it changes the feeling. The idea stops becoming archaeological. It becomes psychological. What if discovering something ancient isn't exciting? What if it's uncomfortable? Because finding old ruins means history was incomplete. Finding advanced ruins means civilization was incomplete. But finding something intelligent, older than recorded humanity, changes everything. Religion, science, identity, time, the entire story of who we are. Now imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up, open your phone, and one headline appears. Large artificial structure confirmed beneath Antarctic ice. No explanation, no details, only confirmation. What happens? Governments react. Scientists investigate. The internet explodes. People begin questioning everything. Every map, every timeline, every assumption. Books are rewritten. Questions multiply. And suddenly, Antarctica stops being a frozen continent. It becomes the center of human history. But maybe that's exactly why stories like this survive. Not because people believe them, because people want the unknown to still exist. People want hidden places, lost cities, impossible discoveries. One final mystery left on Earth. And Antarctica is perfect for that. Because most people will never go there. Most people will never see it. Which means imagination fills the empty space. Now look at a map. Find Antarctica, that massive white shape at the bottom of the world. looks empty, looks silent, looks simple. But maybe that's what makes it interesting. Because sometimes the places that appear empty hide the biggest questions. And maybe, under kilometers of ancient ice, there isn't a city, there isn't a civilization, there isn't anything at all. Or maybe, one day, someone will drill deeper, scan further, open a forgotten door, and discover that the greatest mystery on Earth was never in space. It was beneath our feet, waiting, silent, frozen, until someone finally looked down. ND. If this video made you question what might really exist beneath Antarctica, subscribe, because there are still places on Earth nobody fully understands, and this is only the beginning. Leave a comment. If scientists discovered something impossible under Antarctica, would the world even tell us? And turn on notifications, because the next mystery might change everything. See you in the next investigation.